Yeah, back to you.
Good afternoon all, 5 o'clock is going to tick over on what we've got to be imminently, so I will declare the meeting open for 5 o'clock and start with the welcome you all along and start with the acknowledgement of country. The Shire of Dardanup wishes to acknowledge that this meeting is being held on traditional lands of the Noongar people. In doing this, we recognise and respect their continuing culture and the contribution they make to the life of this region, and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. The Shire of Dardanup also respects and celebrates all cultures of all our residents and visitors to our Shire. In the event of an emergency, the procedure will be to exit the building and assemble over in the Boomers car park. The affirmation of civic duty and responsibilities there for councillors and staff. And the final part of the start is the recording of meetings declaration in accordance with section 523A of the Local Government Act 1995 and part 2A of the Local Government Administration Regulations 1996. Video or audio recordings of council meetings apply to all ordinary and special council meetings of the Shire of Dardanup. All recordings will be retained as part of the Shire of Dardanup records and will be made available to the public via the Shire of Dardanup website, excluding recordings of matters the council take behind closed doors. Attendance. We have a full count of councillors. We've got some people in the gallery, and I will take note that former councillor Ellen Lilly's there. Welcome back, Ellen. But we'll say a bit more soon. And on Teams we have Councillor Janor. Can you confirm you can hear us, Councillor Janor? Please.
Confirm loud and clear.
Thanks, Tony. Okay, we'll keep moving on to 2.5. The previous meetings are there. Response to previous public questions taken on notice. There is none. Public question time, we do have two. Zoe's quickly put hers in. Zoe, did you want to ask that question or you want me to read it out?
I'm sorry.
I'm happy to read it out for you if you like. It's the first time saying it too, so.
It's a bit rushed.
That's all right. One. Zoe Hill, Jack Winters and Belinda McAllister have come in, and there's a question here which no one had seen except for me, so I'm a bit lucky. The question's policies in regarding to landscaping clarification and why one section is needing to adhere compared to the rest of the suburb. It's probably a bit of detail. Have you got somewhere in particular you're mentioning, or just the policy?
Yeah, in Millbridge.
Okay. I'll give Andre a copy of that so he can have a look at getting his head around it. It may need to be answered. We might need to take it on notice and get back to you.
Mr. President, I'll try my best to answer the question, and Zoe, if I don't answer it fully, please just clarify if I miss something. So as I understand it, your concern is that there is a policy and it's not being consistently applied across Millbridge and other places. Is that? So yes, the policy does exist, and it's we have reviewed this policy a couple of times, and I think that last year Council has made some changes to that policy. It is sometimes difficult to, when you do make changes to the policy, to have a consistent sweep across the whole of the town site, as you can imagine, because it takes time for people to adapt to that. In some instances there may have been approvals granted, in other instances there may not yet have been approvals granted. We don't go out necessarily looking for proactive enforcement of that policy, but where we do become aware of issues, we try to address that through our compliance team. So that's why it may seem inconsistent. It's a bit of a timing issue and a bit of we're not aware of some of the issues that may be inconsistent. Now, if you've made us aware of those types of things, then the staff will go out and have an inspection, and we'll see what we can do to rectify it if there's rectification. I hope that answers your question.
Not really, but yeah, I've written a letter if you want that as well.
We'll take that letter and we'll respond to that administratively, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zoe. Just raising it gets it looked at, and we'll do it as we can. Thank you for raising. I also have a question, which is more of a statement from the Borough Cup Cricket Club in relation to the item further on in the agenda. they couldn't be here until 5:30, so I'll keep that for them. We may suspend standing orders then just to hear from the cricket club when they can get here. On to 5, applications for leave of absence. Any applications for the 19th of November? Okay. Everyone will be here, excellent. Part 7, confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. There is 2 meetings there to confirm. The ordinary council meeting 25th of September 2025 and the special council meeting 22nd of October 2025. Councillor Gillespie moving, Councillor Davies seconding. Everyone's happy with those? Put that to the vote. All those in favour? Yep, that's unanimous. Thanks, councillors. 8, announcements by presiding member without discussion. On page 4, the list of a few things we've been up to, and just to further add, as for yesterday's job, Andre and I attended a meeting with the Minister for various things, but mainly water in the southwest relating to us in Perth, and he did ask to pass on his congratulations to the new councillors. So congratulations from Minister Punch, and he sort of said for everyone as well, but it was particular to the new ones. So congratulations from Don. On to 9. Has anyone got any questions about any of those things we've been doing? Yep.
Was there any update on if he's going to be able to help with the Dardanup water supply issue?
Can confirm it was raised. They were taking away our concerns and a few other extra bits of information we added, but it was more a strategic meeting. We did raise that as being a very big issue at Dardanup and left it with them. Anything further to add, Andre?
Mr. President, I might just add that the fact that the school had the issues earlier this year, and that was also raised, and the Minister's team had taken particular note of that because it does create a hygiene issue for school kids. So then they didn't commit to any specific action, Councillor Webster, but they did at least pay some attention to the fact that the school isn't able to flush the toilets properly because there's not enough flush toilets.
Councillor Hutchinson?
So did you get the feeling that something might actually happen, or do you think they're just doing the old soft shoe shuffle and they just crash on regardless and leave us like it has been for quite a number of years now?
Look, my personal feel is you never know how you've gone with those meetings with ministers until there is some action. There were some good questions asked by them, and we gave them the answers that we felt were appropriate, but it's back in their court. We just don't know until they deliver or not deliver.
Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. President.
Yep.
They did ask the question if the cost to rectify was going to be $5 million and we could just spend $5 million on water upgrades, would we spend it on Dardanup? The response was yes. So I think I understand that it's the highest priority for the community of Dardanup.
Okay, we'll move on. 9, announcements of matters for which the meeting may be closed. There are 2 items at the back of the agenda. The District Softball Association annual financial reports and their business plan, 3-year budget estimate, and the ERP software replacement program for the upgrade. 10, questions by members of which due notice has been given. There are none. 11, declarations of interest. Many. Councillor Gillespie has declared an impartiality interest in item 12.3.1, the hydrogen power generator. Endorsement of expression of interest submission due to Councillor Gillespie's sister being the reporting officer for the item. Councillor Janor has declared an impartiality interest in item 12.4.2, the Burra Cup new cricket practice net location due to his son playing cricket for the Burra Cup Cricket Club. Councillor Luke Davies has declared an impartiality interest in item 12.4.2, the Burra Cup new cricket practice net location due to his sister being the captain of the women's Burra Cup team who will train on the oval. Chief Executive Officer Andre Schonfeld has declared an impartiality interest in item 12.5.1, the reviewed terms of reference committees due to a committee that reviews his performance and remuneration. Chief Executive Officer Andre Schonfeld has declared an impartiality interest in item 12.5.2, Council Committee appointments, appointment of members and presiding member, deputy presiding member due to the committee relating to the committee that reviews his performance remuneration. I have declared an impartiality interest in item 12.5.4, appointment of delegates to various community committees due to being a member of the Burracup Country Club and my partner is an office bearer. Acting Director of Infrastructure, Mr. Andre Vandermeer, has declared an impartiality interest in item 16.1, the Bunbury District Softball Association Annual Financial Report, Business Plan and Key Actions, 25 to 28. The 3-year budget estimate, 25 to 28, due to his daughter being an active member of the Bunbury District Softball Association. Director of Corporate and Governance, Mrs. Natalie Hopkins, has declared an impartiality interest in item 16.2, the Enterprise Resource Planning Software Replacement Program Quarterly Update, up to September 2025, due to being a member of the ReadyTech User Group Executive Committee, and ReadyTech have been contracted to implement and upgrade the Council's ERP software. Any more declarations of interest? Okay. We'll move on to part 12.2, Development Services Directorate. Nominations of delegates for the Regional Joint Development Assessment Panel, or DAP. We did talk about these the other day, but we're taking them from the floor now. Councillor Gillespie?
Yeah.
As am I. Councillor Janor? Yep. You're Kane? Okay, and Councillor Farrant as an alternate. Positions filled. I'm happy to move that, councillors. You've got all those, Cindy? So,
The second alternate.
Councillor Farrant and Councillor Janor.
Thank you.
All good, I'm happy to move that. Seconder. Ruby, Councillor Trevathan seconding that. Any discussion required? Put that to the vote, all those in favour? That's unanimous. Next committee job. Right, we're on to Community and Economic Development Directorate. Hydrogen power generator endorsement of expression of interest submission. Councillor Gillespie declared an impartiality interest in this item. The reason mentioned beforehand. Resolutions on page 12, councillors.
Mr. President, can I ask some questions?
You may.
If we were successful to get this unit, we see it's a 100 kVA unit. You've got 100 kVA ticking over there, so where's the power go that we don't use? Does it go back into the grid? And if it does go back into the grid, do we get a couple of shekels for it or what?
Susan?
Through the chair, we should be so lucky that Western Power will give us some money back for putting power back into the grid. We'll just switch it off, but we still have to run probably on mains, but we won't use the power. 100 kVA will give us, I think, the first sort of for that precinct at the back that Waterloo backs onto. So it might be an alternative solution for power, so we don't have to connect to the grid in the first instance, but we'll have to extend the cables or pick it up and put it next to basically where the Waterloo first precinct is. So that's a different thing, because then that means we actually don't take a power connection from hydrogen from Toyota Australia. So this is more to, I think, have that leadership. I'm not going to call it leadership, so we can actually have clean power, and that was always a vision for council and for the depot site, that we actually have clean power and we can run it 24/7. We've just never got to the point that we could actually put something down there that made it economically viable for council. So hopefully we'll be able to, if we do get the expression of interest, that we'll be able to make it work from a financial point of view. We'll only know that once we get to are successful in that, so we'll see and then come back with a business plan for council to consider. It might work for One Jewel also, so as a trial, we've given it through to just to the developers of One Jewel that's got a first precinct there, and that might be a way to actually get One Jewel off the ground also as a first precinct.
Thank you.
Could you
Just-
use your microphone, please?
Sorry, I had it there ready. Yeah, I was just looking through the cost modelling and it's sort of fairly clear, or there's a range of costs. It could be up to 25k, I think they've made estimates. Now, what's the thing that is lacking that I see are two things. One is the expected resource costs that we will be supplying to Shire Data, and also decommissioning costs if we decide to extradite. It fails. There has been some anecdotal evidence that there are people pulling out of the hydrogen as a power solution. Some fairly senior people. So yeah, that's just two things that I picked up. And we see the final budget estimate after the EIO's or EI is finalised.
We won't be around, but the next Director for Economic Development will just have to go. It's clarifying that, so we've left those questions with Te Aroha Australia to say, what is the decommissioning costs? What is it going to cost us to basically, recharge the hydrogen? So they haven't given us that answers, and I suspect it's because we haven't put an expression of interest in. Once we've got that, we'll then put a business case up. That's why I've basically said we need to bring a business case back, because it might be uneconomical for us to do that in the first instance, and decommission, because it's not going to just be that, it will be decommissioning of the building, switching off the power, and then running a very light power connection for the depot site from Western Power, and that's a whole different discussion with Synergy and Western Power, which is now switching over to clean energy, and just not flicking off the cables, and working with them, and how you actually might have to put energy back into the grid, and how we do that if we're running on that 100 kVA for that. So there's, I think, to put the business case together, we need all of that information. But if we don't buy, and it's like buying a lotto ticket, if we don't buy a lotto ticket, we can't actually assess it. And the biggest cost is actually buying that hydrogen generator, which is about, I think, was $290,000. So if we can get that as a first instance, the other operational costs and a little bit of capital outlay we may have is nominal in terms of that, but there will be operational costs on a monthly basis for us. So it's just the director will have to bring that back, and then council can make a decision to either step back or take it fully up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Susan. Stacey?
Yeah, and probably a question for Susan through the chair again. So just to be clear, this item is just for council to either agree or not to agree to go and enter into, to apply for the expressions of interest, to submit an expressions of interest, and then, so that's all this item is looking at, and then if we happen to be randomly successful, notice this is all, there's one for all of Australia, so it is, like you said, buying a lotto ticket. So if we're lucky enough, we then will get the costs, then we'll be able to do a final business case and still opt out if it all ends up being too difficult. Is that correct?
That's correct. So it's basically asking council for us to give us permission to put an expression of interest in, and we basically frame it in that it becomes like a demonstration project for Waterloo, One Jewel, explaining that this is the future, but then we want to try and run it as a demonstration project down at the depot. So you sort of, but that's literally what it is. It's an expression of interest for us to put this in, and then we'll bring a business case back when it is successful.
Thanks, Susan. No more questions? Tony, yep.
If there's no more questions, I'm happy to move that motion.
Thanks, Councillor Janor. Councillor Gillespie seconding. Councillor Janor, floor is yours.
I just think that if we're going to be potential leaders in green energy, this would be a preference. Definitely better than covering the scarp with wind turbines and covering all the farmland in solar panels. So if this leads to something greater for the southwest and the Shire, I think it's a positive thing, and it's currently it's only the expression of interest. So it'd be good to see if we've got the tick on that.
Thanks, Tony. Councillor Gillespie.
Yeah, totally agree with Councillor. And also, I just think that this is, a good opportunity. I mean, it's very slim that will be picked, but let's put our hand up and buy that ticket. It would be excellent to have this project in Wandoo, and it'd be great for the Shire and also the region. I agree with some concerns about people pulling out of hydrogen, but I think maybe by the time this process, which should be a long-winded process, maybe there'll be some more movement around that to help make a decision whether to go ahead or not. But yeah, it's a great opportunity.
So, anyone against? Anyone wish to speak further for? Yeah, like I'll just add, it is a chance. You don't get things if you don't take a chance. So we'll buy that ticket, and it's actually generated a bit of interest from the media. I've had 3 calls from someone trying to find out where we're at. So it'd be good to say, we're going to have a look at this and see if we can be one of the lucky recipients of a Toyota grant and showcase what it can do for our region. Any more, Tony, from you?
Maybe just one. There is a comment in here about there being an unbudgeted expenditure, but I'm going to make a brief assumption that by the time the expression of interest gets formalised, it would be IPC time. We would be able to put that in the budget. Would that be a correct assumption?
That would be a correct assumption. We probably will have the cost and hopefully the business plan will be passed by council by then. You can incorporate that into your RPC discussions. Good.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thanks, Susan. With that, I'll put the resolution that's on page 12 to the vote. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Okay, we'll move on to 12.4, the Pratt Road footbridge renewal, expressions of interest. Resolution on page 17. Okay.
So just had a couple of questions on this item. So first of all, just wanted to understand what we're actually voting on for this one, what we're being asked. So we're increasing the budget to 250,000 for which will be funded from the footpath reserve. We've had some expressions of interest that are potentially lower than that at the moment, but this isn't. We're not voting to go to tender or anything. We're just saying yes, we agree to increase the budget, and then we're giving CEO delegated authority or permission to investigate some contractors to do the job. Is that correct?
Through you, Mr. Chair. As I have delegated authority to procure up to $250,000, the first part of the resolution is to increase it to $250,000 in terms of budget. And the second resolution then allows me as the CEO to proceed with the design and the procurement and the construction. So it effectively says we believe that we can build this bridge for $250,000. If council is happy for me to get on with that, and we will get on with the design and construction, and we will go seek quotes on the basis of that new design. So the expression of interest was successful in that it gave us a clear indication as to what design would be able to be met for less than $250,000, and now it's a matter of getting your endorsement for us to go and do that.
Hutchinson. Oh, sorry, Stacey, you
Sorry,
still
thanks.
there.
I was going to ask one other quick question.
Yep.
Sorry, Mark. Do we know? I guess we don't know the exact design of how they're going to do it yet. That will be part of the next step.
Through the chair, thank you, councillor. Yes, that would be part of the design process. We do have an indication of the preferred materials to be used. In this case, it would be the fibre reinforced plastic, similar to the mesh designs that you would see on a lot of the jetties around, with the lifespan, indicated lifespan, design lifespan of 50 years. That would be just retrofitted to the already installed piles, because investigations concluded that the piles are in serviceable condition, so we don't need to do anything there. So it'll just be retrofitting the new deck, the footbridge to that.
Andre? Councillor Hutch?
This more or less answered it. So at the moment, as we sit here now, we're only at concept stage. We haven't got final drawings and that done. Is that correct?
Through the chair, I believe that there's been some designs done, but I'm not sure if the designs have been finalised yet. The actual instruction or the decision from council would be for us to go and finish those designs and then get the project.
No more councillors? Brad? Yes?
Yeah, just the material we're looking at, which is great, but the ongoing costs of about 7,600 a year. We're looking at a product that is low maintenance, but we're still going to charge that much per year. Is that cleaning of it?
The cost there was calculated on a whole of life cost with the rule of thumb would be about 2.5% annually. So that's just the desktop assessment. That's just to make sure that there is provision for it in the budget. 2.5% is the going rate. We prefer to work on 3% just to make sure if there's any emergency works needing to be done, there is funding available for it rather than having to ask for additional funds.
Thanks, Andre. Done?
I need to declare an impartiality interest because some work that's been done in the background.
Okay, thanks for that, Councillor Hutchinson. You're declaring impartiality interest in relationship with one of the respondents. Yep. All in, the end of the meeting. Councillor Gillespie.
If there's no further discussion, I'd like to move.
Councillor Gillespie's moving the resolution on page 17. Councillor Webster, seconding. Councillor Gillespie.
Yeah, there's been a lot of work on this item, and it is a lot of money. We do have it in the back end, but it's just one of those assets for the Shire that is important in the community, and I really don't feel we could not have this fixed and usable. It's just a really highly used asset, and it would be a shame to see that just let go to waste and then not replaced. I really think it's sort of up there with what needs to be done for the community. So I support this motion, and let's go and get something done.
Councillor Gillespie. Councillor Webster.
They're pretty much the same as Councillor Gillespie, except sooner the better, because it's a very sought after and used asset.
Anyone wish to speak against the resolution? Any further for? Okay, Councillor.
Ladies first. No, ladies first.
Yeah, Councillor Hutchinson.
Ladies first.
Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal. Yep.
Councillor Wrench, go for it.
Thank you. No, my comment was just there is quite a bit of public comment out there, and I think potentially a delay would be quite damaging. And I agree, if it's within delegations, it's more than appropriate for the team to get it done.
Just, is there any, no one against? For? Yep.
Thank you. I am supporting the project because it is a very valuable asset to the residents and the ratepayers. And it gets a heck of a amount of use, and it's good for fitness, both physically and mentally. That walk along is quite soothing. My only concern is that we're going over budget by $60,000. So I'm hoping that between the councillors and the officers that we may be able to find some savings going forward. So when we get to the mid-year budget review, we may, I'm hoping that we can pick up some savings on the way through and then put some of that money back into the footpath reserves, because effectively, while this is one of the most important walks in Eden, but we do have other towns that need footpaths and so on. So we effectively blow the footpath budget out for 12 months. So I'm hoping we as councillors and officers can find some savings in there and to put back into footpaths for this financial year. Thank you.
Councillor Hutchinson, still no one against. Councillor Janor, I think, did I have you as a speaker?
I just had a comment, and Councillor Hutchinson touched on it then, is just making provision for reassessing the amount that goes back into the pathway reserve come IPC time. We'll just make a note of that.
Councillor Janor? No more against, any more for? Yeah, look, I'll just add, it's, it will be, community does want this kept there, we don't want to lose it. It's certainly, the cost of it has come back on what initial tenders came in at when we first touted what we wanted to do down with that walkway, but with the extra that's going on down at Watson Street, and it is one of our iconic little spots on the river down there, we just need to keep the standard of everything up there and keep that walkway in place, so. Councillor Gillespie, you moved that, didn't you?
Yeah, just to close,
Close.
the quicker the better, because I've noticed the other day some of it's quite deteriorated already, and some of the one part of the whole balustrade is already not there, it's quite dangerous. So it'd be great to get it sorted. And also with Hutch, commenting on the finances, maybe in the concept and the design stages, we could potentially think outside the square and save some money there as well, would be great.
Okay, councillors, with that, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour? It's unanimous, thanks councillors. The next item on the agenda is 12.4.2. I knew the cricket club was trying to get in here for 5:30, so we'll just hold that one over and move forward to 12.5.1 on page 32. Review of the terms of reference for the committees, the resolution is down the bottom of the page there.
Mr President, I've declared an impartiality interest in this.
Okay. Andre, the Chief Executive Officer has declared an impartiality interest in this item. One of those committees is the CEO Review Committee. Okay, councillors, I'm prepared to move that. Seconder, Councillor Trevathan. Any discussion required? Okay, we'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. The next item is 12.5.2 on page 37, council committees, appointment of members and presiding member, deputy presiding member. Chief Executive Officer Andre Schonfeld has declared an impartiality interest in this item. One of those committees that we're about to appoint members for is the CEO Review Committee. Okay, councillors. Andre, I might hand this one over to you. I'm going to have a little rest for a minute if you want to put some names. Or...
So, Bushfire Advisory Committee, Councillor Janor indicated previously that he might be willing to be a deputy. Are there any, Councillor
Please.
Sturgis, Councillor Gardner,
I can be.
Councillor Trevathan. Councillor Janor, you're still happy to be a proxy for this one?
Unless anyone else wants to take that position, I'm happy to be a proxy on that committee.
Anyone else that wants to be on the Bushfire Advisory Committee? Councillor Janor, it seems like you would be the proxy in that space. Could I get a nomination for the presiding member between?
I think it's what they're on.
We have to appoint it now.
Right now.
Councillor Gardner. Deputy. Councillor Trevathan.
There's a bit of synergy going on there.
Thank you, councillors. If there's no further nominations for that one, we'll go on to the Integrated Planning Committee. That is all of you, are all of you, councillors, so you put your names down 1 through to 9. Presiding member. Can I get a nomination? Councillor Gardner. Any deputy presiding member?
Nominate councillor Gillespie for that one.
Councillor Gillespie. No further nominations in that space. You're happy to move on to the Local Emergency Management Committee? Councillor Gardner as the Shire President, as per the terms of reference, I believe. Councillor Webster, you want to be a delegate or
Yes,
a proxy?
please.
Delegate.
Delegate as well.
Councillor Farrant wants to be a delegate as well, so you may need to.
Oh, sorry, proxy.
Proxy? Are there any other delegates or proxies? Councillor? The proxy, Councillor Wrench. Any others? No? The presiding member will be the Shire President, as per the agenda. Audit Risk Committee, 5 delegates there. Councillor Farrant. Councillor Hutchinson. Councillor Orange. Councillor Gillespie. Councillor Gardner. Proxies. Got 2 proxies available there.
Councillor
Councillor Davies. And Councillor Janor. Presiding member. Councillor Gillespie. And deputy. Councillor Orange. Are we still tracking okay? Yep. Just checking with minutes. CEO Review Committee. Shire President, Councillor Gardner. Deputy Shire President, Councillor Gillespie. Councillor Hutchinson. And Councillor Janor, I think indicated previously. Is that still correct?
Yes, correct.
Any other nominations, or are you happy with those, councillors? Just noting that's my impartiality interest associated with these nominations. Presiding member, Councillor Gillespie. Deputy presiding member, Councillor Hutchinson. Behavioural Complaints Committee, Councillor Davies, Gardner, Orange, Trevathan, and who else have we got? Councillor Farrant. And the deputies, we've got Councillor Gillespie, Councillor Janor. Am I missing? Councillor Webster and Councillor Hutchinson as deputies.
Number 4.
As noted. Presiding member for that one, Councillor Gardner. And deputy presiding member, Lawrence, Councillor Lawrence. Board, you got all of that in the minutes?
Thanks, Honoré. Thanks, councillors. So those positions are filled as called during that item. Councillor Gillespie's moving.
Mr President, it is on the screen. Do you just
Okay.
want to double check before we go
Okay.
through that, if that's okay? So we've got Councillor Janor and Gardner.
Sorry. Do you want me
Sorry,
to? Sorry.
it's not the one on the screen, is it?
No.
Could you put it on the screen, is that possible?
So do you want me to pull it across?
Please. Put it up there, yeah?
Yes,
Right.
sorry.
Um,
Hold on.
Bushfire Advisory is Councillor Gardner and Trevathan, Councillor Jamal is a proxy. Yep, the presiding member is Councillor Gardner and Councillor Trevathan. Integrated Planning Committee will have all your names populated in there. And the presiding member will be Councillor Gardner and Councillor Gillespie. Local Emergency Management Committee, Councillor Gardner, Councillor Webster as the delegates and Councillor Frank as the proxies, with Councillor Gardner as the presiding member and the WA Police representative as the deputy presiding member. Audit and Risk, we've got Councillor Farrant, Hutchinson, Orange, Gillespie and Gardner as the delegates, with Councillor Davies and Janor as the deputies, Councillor Gillespie and Councillor Lorange as the presiding and deputy presiding members respectively. CEO Review Committee, Shire President Councillor Gardner, Deputy Shire President Councillor Gillespie, Councillor Hutchinson and Councillor Janor as the 4 delegates, with the presiding member being Councillor Gillespie and Deputy Presiding Councillor Hutchinson. The Overall Complaints Committee, Councillor Davies, Councillor Gardner, Councillor Lorange, Councillor Trevathan, Councillor Farrant as the delegates, and then the deputies being Councillor Gillespie, Janor, Webster and Hutchinson as the 4, with the presiding member being Councillor Gardner and Deputy Presiding Councillor Lorange. All happy with that?
Thanks, Andre. Everyone's clear? Okay, your Councillor Leslie's moved that. Seconder? Councillor Trevathan? Wish to speak? Happy?
No.
Okay. Ruby, you wish to speak? You happy? Okay, councillors, we'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Against? Or Councillor Hutchinson against? Any concerns there, Mark? You got some concerns there? Are we voting against that?
My only concern is I don't like peer on peer. I thought I should be, if you're gonna have if somebody wants to have a shootout, it should be done with an independent person. That's just my view on the world.
Okay, we could, in future, we could probably separate that part out and deal with that committee on its own. Okay, councillors, Sam King from the cricket club's here, so I'm just gonna suspend standing orders for a bit. How do I do that? We'll just let him speak. We'll just go back to presentations.
Mr. President, you want to go back to item 12.4.2?
4.2, and Sam has a question or a statement.
Regarding that, I would suggest you suspend standing orders in order to allow that.
I'll move that we suspend standing orders. Councillor Gillespie seconding. All those in favour? That's everyone. Thanks, councillors. Okay, standing orders are suspended. Sam, you want to come up and speak, and you've given us your question. If you want to make a presentation on that item, we're happy to hear now.
So yes, hello, I'm Sam King from Barra Cricket Club. Question is regarding the position of the proposed third net. Few discussions for the cricket club, it is best to be on the north side. And it was discussed with council, I think it was Nathan before, and that was said to be a better position. If not, then if it is on the south side as under the supposed precinct, that tree needs to be removed. A simple trim of that tree will not suffice, as can be seen on Zane Jones' submission. There's already damage to the carpet on the southern net, so another net further across will incur more damage, and only a trimming of the tree will result in it falling over. I know people have been out there, but yeah, this is the position of the Barra Cricket Club.
Thanks, Sam. Councillors, any councillors got questions of Sam before we deal with the item? I'll quickly ask one, Sam. I mean, it's a nice one to change. We endorsed the concept plan and probably sort of send another question to the CEO.
So that's another discussion. There was the feedback from my two people, Claire Glotty, and that was at the last meeting. There was to be further discussions. There haven't been any further discussions with the Barra Cricket Club regarding the basic concept plan. So that's another issue potentially raised in the future.
Okay. Well, I'll ask the CEO a question. If we go outside that concept plan, is that something we need to go back and adjust it, or?
Through the chair, the report actually addressed that. Council's endorsed the concept plan following significant engagement with the community over a number of years. The concept plan is sort of setting out the detailed designs and it considers different elements of what is proposed in that space. So we had to move the car park from the previous concept to accommodate it where it is. We've had to move the shed to accommodate the new change rooms. We had to move the skate park and the pump track, and so everything is designed to sort of fit into that space, and the communities had input into that. The impact of putting the nets to the north will mean that it actually impacts on the car park in particular. Apart from that impact, if council's happy that that impact can be mitigated by changing the design of the car park, then as per in the report, there is an alternative recommendation for council to consider. From an officer's perspective, we believe that it will, I guess, change that design of the car park. We've been through the process, and that's why the officers are recommending we continue with the concept plan as it has been endorsed previously.
Yeah, can I just ask a question? I know, are you aware that we have to remove 2 trees if we put it on the north side?
Yes, but that does not require a, sorry, I find my, that was looked at, yeah, the permit is not required, then it can be bypassed, so that has been, looked at, so, yes.
Do we know, and sorry, not a question for you, do we know, the cost of removing the big tree and also the, like, not that we have to remove both, but what's the cost comparative if we just move the big tree? And how much is it gonna cost just to move the 2 little ones? Are they?
Through the chair, we're not proposing to move the big tree, it was just pruning a bit of that, and the other
I'm
one,
asking if we were to remove it, is
if
there?
we were to remove it altogether, I think you'd then need to go through a clearing permit process, which may delay the project, because clearing permits aren't quick, and there may be offsets required, so the cost would likely be higher, even if it's just 1 of the 3 being removed versus the 2 trees. I don't know if the acting director's got any comments on the costs associated.
Yeah, when we went to Department of Water and Environmental Regulation regarding the 2 smaller trees on the north side, they indicated that there would be no clearing permits needed. At that time, we did not ask about the bigger tree that's being discussed on the south side. So without going back to DWER, I would not have an opinion on that, if permits required or not. In terms of monetary value, just going by estimates for similarly sized trees that we have had to remove in the past, the upside is there's no traffic management involved, so that brings the cost down significantly, but I would say for the arborist itself, it'll be between $2,000 and $3,000.
And sorry, can I just ask a follow-on question? If there's no clearing permit required, does that mean we don't have to offset it? So those other 2, if we take those other 2 out, we don't have to then plant some other ones somewhere else?
That's correct, yes. So then there's no onus on us to offset with any offset planting. We can if we want to, but there's no requirement for it.
Potentially there would be if the clearing permit is required.
That's correct, and we won't know until we seek any clarification from DWER regarding that.
Thanks, Gillespie, thanks, Andre. Questions? Thanks, Sam.
Just one.
Oh, sorry, Brad, yep.
So if we do choose the, yes, thank you. So if we do use the alternate, the cost will be the offset from taking 2 trees, the large one, permit time, and then the cost offset of the 2 trees we don't have to chop down. Plus, my understanding is also the redesign of the car park, if that option was taken. So I guess there's a change, can we get that information before making a decision, or do we need to move forward on that decision?
I think there is a need to get the nets up
Mr Chair, I just want to clarify, the officer's recommendation is not to remove the tree on the south.
Yes.
It's simply to prune that, and that could be costed, and that's been identified and explained in here.
Yes.
The alternate is to remove the other two trees. That cost is understood, and that's also explained in here. So in the alternate, what we haven't got is what does the car park then look like. As it's only a concept design, it's easy enough to change the line on the map. But it does have implications on reducing the number of bays available. And when I'm saying it's easy enough to change it, it actually relates also to the access way that's been designed to go into the car park. But that's something that we just need to have a look at.
I guess in the report it spoke about pruning, but it did not reflect the fact that pruning may not suffice and removal of the tree may be an option which the cricket club has identified. So that's where I'm coming from. I've read the report, realised that, but the staining plus the honky nuts that will just be distributed from the tree and the remaining tree, because the pruning was pretty well right over the top of the net based on the diagram. So that may not suffice. Even taking that whole trunk off may reduce the integrity of the tree and stability of it. So that's why I'm suggesting that putting up a proposal that we look at the cost of total removal as per the cricket club's recommendation.
Okay.
Can I ask one more question
Yep.
to Sam? So timeframe wise, if we were interested in going back to DEWA and asking about this removal of the tree as an option, as a third option, is that going to defer the process for too long?
At this stage, the net has been delayed so much that it won't be realistically built for this season. So we'd be looking at building it for next season.
Oh, okay, so it's a next season project anyway?
Well, it is appearing so now, with all the delays and that.
Okay, one more quick one, Sam, from me. The entry onto the oval is on that northern side as well, isn't it?
Yes,
So
it
we're
is.
going to be affecting that by, if we were to go to the north side?
No,
Sort of
and
road?
if we did, it would be a matter of shifting. Maybe, no, I don't even think it does impact it, so.
Through the chair, can I just clarify
Yep.
something?
Yep.
If we remove the trees, do we have to notify the community and do some consultation around that in Burracup? I'm just flagging it. Might say also just that further process, not delay it, but will be some community consultation around that.
Is that for all trees, Susan, or just the big one? Like, do we have to
All
notify
trees
them?
in Burracup.
As part of the precedent plan, isn't all of the trees looking to be removed, so surely that's been sought from the Burracup community.
No, the only trees that were intended to be removed was those required for the change rooms, and this tree was going to be pruned. And that's why the officers are recommending, as per the concept plan, I think Susan's basically outlining that we haven't checked with the community if they have further tree clearing.
No.
And that was one of the concerns raised at the time.
Okay, no more questions?
Does that change the power requirements at all? I know there was two options there, but there for the bowling machine, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was a better option, I think, for.
Yes, so the north side is the better option for the power currently. It's closer. Go to the south side to prevent trip hazards and that. We'd have to look at purchasing further extension cords to run around the back of the head to go to the south side. Yes.
So considering it may be safer and also possible cost offset.
Just to clarify that, the council will be dealing with the tender that's come back on, or the quotes that's come back for the change room to be built. The quotes has come in within budget, so the clarification that we're just seeking some clarification. So in November, we're going to ask council to award the contract to one of the preferred suppliers, which will mean that the shed will be relocated as soon as we move forward with that contract. And then the power will also be relocated, so the shed will actually be relocated to the south side. And the power will therefore be on the south side in accordance with the concept plan that's been done. So that extension cords will be a lot shorter to the south side than to the north side. And we're hoping that, and the submissions have indicated that they can build it before next cricket season. The change room should be in place, so that might be a good outcome for the cricket club in this place.
I'll just,
Over to them.
Councillor Janor, question?
Yeah, so if we shift the practice net to the south, the north side, where the cricket club wanted to go to, what's the cricket club solution for the parking bays they're going to lose?
Considering we don't have any parking bays at the moment, we'll make do as we always have.
I'm referring to the concept plan.
Yes. Again, we'll make do as we have done for the past 20 years. We'll find parking.
Okay, thanks Tony, thanks Sam. Councillor Gillespie?
Yeah, can I move to defer this item?
No, we still,
Oh, sorry.
When we come back,
Oh,
we-
sorry, we haven't got,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just discussing questions. I'm jumping ahead.
preempting.
Sorry, can I just make a comment? So just to clarify, the cricket club's view on this is that they're happy to sacrifice bays in the car park of the new concept plan. That's how much it means.
Yes, again, it's a concept plan. We're looking at the next 5 years for this. I believe the net's been given 10 years, so if this goes ahead within 10 years, Barracuda Cricket Club is the opinion, we'd be very surprised. So we're looking, to have this on the north side as the better option.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Is that only because the pruning of the big tree is not sufficient?
No, so that and the question, the south side is the second option. And as onus of care and maintenance falls on us of the nets, we're of the opinion that the tree needs to be removed completely. Just pruning it is not sufficient. In the report, that you've got honky nuts, potential instability of the tree that can't be proven by just pruning. As well, you can see damage to the carpet on the existing net on the south side. Being close to the tree, that would be potentially more.
So if that tree wasn't gone, was gone, would your preference then be okay with the south side?
Potentially, I can take that back to the committee and we can discuss that.
Mr. President, if I may just ask a follow-up question. When we did do the working group on the concept plan, the submission that had come in from the cricket club was for it to be on the south side.
Yes.
And that's also why it was reflected on the south side in that instance, because it was in the context of the change rooms being built and the shed being relocated to the south side. So having, I'm just asking, I'm just kind of finish my question if you can, Sam. Having heard that it looks likely that we are going to build the change rooms and relocating the shed, is it still your preference then to have the cricket net to the north?
At the moment, it is.
Okay, a lot of questions there. All finished? Okay, Councillor, we're going to resume standing orders. Councillor Gillespie moving, Councillor Hutchinson seconding, all those in favour? It's unanimous, thanks councillors. Councillors, we're back to the item, 12.4.2, the Barracuda New Cricket Practice Net Allocation. There's two declarations of interest there. Councillor Janor and Councillor Davies have declared impartiality interest in the involved club.
Can I move to defer this item only because it sounds like there are a couple of other options that aren't quite clear? and that haven't necessarily been looked into. So could we defer it until we have a chance to go to DEWA about the big tree, and then maybe clarify with the cricket club the other options available?
That's procedural motion, isn't it? So there's no debate. There's no.
Alternates?
Needs to be a seconder,
Yeah.
so it's deferred, do you want to defer it until the November meeting then?
Is that enough time for staff to go to, how long to do it, DEWA take?
We'll just need to ask DEWA if a clearing permit's going to be required and work out the costing associated with that. But if you want us to investigate other alternatives in terms of car park and other things as well, it may need more time.
December.
And bearing in mind that in November you may be considering the contract for the change rooms.
But does the change rooms have anything to do with the trees?
It has to do.
This item?
It's related because it may have the electricity located in it as well. But happy, if you do
I think we
defer,
just need to have option A, remove big tree and find out from DEWA how much, if we have to do offset and etc. And if a clearing permit is required and how much it would cost. And then we've got the other two options here.
yeah, I understand that, I think, sorry, I don't want to complicate stuff, but we do need a time frame on when you want us to bring it back.
Yeah.
I also would ask you to consider, in that time frame, are we doing community consultation on the removal of the trees, or are we not doing community consultation on the removal?
We don't know whether we're removing them or not. We're removing two little ones potentially.
Just if I'm bringing back an item to council,
As a potential, you might have to ask the community,
but now we need a longer time frame, that's what I'm trying to ask.
what's going to be enough time, January?
Well, the engagement with the community over Christmas is generally not a good time. So you'd
Well, I'm asking
engage.
you, Andre, what would you suggest is enough time to do for staff to do what is needed to be done?
We could engage with the community over November about the tree, and we could bring it back to council still in December. The deferral then needs to be very specific motion, so defer it, requesting the CEO to undertake consultation with the community about the removal of either the two trees at the top, at the north, or the one tree on the south, and to also deal with request to her if clearing permits will be required for any one, two, and the costs associated with that. Potentially look at the alternative, like the variation to the concept plan if it's to the north on what the car park might look like. So I don't know about the staff workload for the next couple of weeks, but you're going to have to, I just don't think it's going to be, if we're doing a change to the concept plan, that may make it clear.
I guess
At
if
least
we-
ask the question of the community.
Yeah, because I guess if we end up going, when it comes back to council, if we end up sticking to the item of going to the north and removing the trees, part of that process would then be rejigging the car park, so we don't necessarily have to do that bit yet.
But when we're engaging the community, we'll ask them, do you agree with option A or option B?
I have to get a seconder first.
Finish your motion.
What did you just say?
Did you get that? Right, so it's to defer the item until the December OCM and request the CEO to consult the community about the removal of the trees under either option. To clarify with, so request the CEO to, one, consult the community about the potential of removing the trees under either option 1 or 2. And point number 2 would be to ask DEWA if a clearing permit is required. And 3, prepare costings associated with the removal of the trees. And 4 will be consider alternatives for the car park should the cricket club's option be preferred. So that's the deferral motion, to bring it back in December.
On cost aside, just the tree removal will be the cable cost on cost aside. Just cost, Chair, not just cost associated.
Okay, Thanks, councillor Gillespie's moved that deferral.
I'll second it.
Councillor Farrant seconding, there's no debate on the procedural motion, so I'll put that motion to the meeting. All those in favour? And against? That's deferral's carried 6-3.
Sorry. Who were the three?
Councillor Hutchinson, councillor Webster and myself voted against the deferral.
Didn't see councillor.
Okay, councillors. Sam, let's see what's happening there. Okay, councillors, we'll jump back to the order of the meeting and we will be at 4.5.3 on page 48. Following councillors, the appointment of delegates and representatives to various regional committees. 48, Regional Road Group. I'll be the delegate for that. Deputy. Anybody? Tony, yep, councillor Janal, thanks Tony. Southwest Zone for Australian Local Government. There's a delegate for that. Councillor Gillespie for the deputy. Hungry Geograph Group of Councils. Deputy. Still on that page. Everyone's clear about who was named there. Okay. Mover, I'll move that one. Councillor Davey seconding. Discussion required. Okay, put that to the vote. All those in favour? That's unanimous. Move on to 12.5.4, appointment of delegates to various committees. I've declared an impartiality interest in this one as I'm a member of the Barracup Country Club and my partner is an office bearer. It's one of the community groups we're finding members for. Okay, I might hand this one back to you, Andre.
Councillors needing a delegate for the Building Joint Management Committee at Eden Bowling Club, Councillor Webster and Farrant. Who do I put down as the delegate?
Are you a member of the club? Okay, yep.
I'm already on the was
Yep, you've been the previous member.
to do that.
Are you both dead set keen or do we need to? Yep, so we may need to vote on that one.
We'll have to debate that one separate.
Yep.
Councillor.
Okay, we'll separate that one out.
So we've got Councillor Farrant or Webster, and the one will be the deputy if the other one becomes the delegate
Okay.
on that debate. Barracup Country Club,
Delegate, councillor Hutchinson.
Councillor Hutchinson. Deputy,
Deputy. Councillor Janor. Tony.
Eaton Senior Citizens,
Yeah, I'll jump in there.
Gardner. Deputy
Councillor
delegate, Councillor Davies.
Davies.
Ferguson Hall Committee, Councillor Trevathan. Deputy delegate,
Councillor Janor.
Ferguson Valley Marketing, Trevathan. Councillor Webster. Anyone else? Mr. President. So we'll do, let's do the others first. We'll do that council one endorses the following councillors as delegates, and then we'll start with Barracup Country Club through to Ferguson Valley Marketing. Resolution A, and then we'll deal with Resolution B if you want to split it, which will be
Yep.
endorsing the Building Joint Management Committee, if you wish.
We'll do it that way. Resolution A will be the Burracup Country Club Eton Senior Sits, Ferguson Hall and the Ferguson Valley Marketing as discussed. Happy to move that. Councillor Gillespie seconding. Everyone's clear. Put that to the vote. All those in favour? It's unanimous. Okay, and B, the Building Joint Management Committee. What's this here? Do they speak or do we
Somebody's
speak?
got to move it. I'd move a motion.
Yeah, I'm gonna move Brad. That's a new one. You're a new councillor. Just, no, probably it's just needs a new set of eyes in there. And then, just
I
there.
haven't been there long.
Couple of years. I'm gonna move Councillor Webster, Councillor Farrant for delegate and Councillor Webster for deputy. I'll second that. Councillor Davies. Okay, yeah, I'll move that, yeah, just needs a new set of eyes in there at the moment. So I'd just like to send Brad off on a bit of a task there. Good luck. So here we go. Luke, do you wish to speak?
No, just what you've said, I'm sorry.
Okay, councillors, I'll put that to the vote. All those in, sorry? So against, sorry, anyone wish to speak against? Councillor Webster?
I'm just speaking against because we only had 2 meetings in the whole 2 years really, because there was lots of illnesses, people away, there's lots of things that the meetings didn't happen. So there wasn't really a lot of time to, and we had a change of bowling club president, etc. So it was really all over the place, couple of years. So it would have been good to just get back in and start learning a bit more about how the whole process works rather than just get that, mixed up concept of what was going on there. So now I understand it a bit more from having that time. It'd be good to be able to continue it on and be productive for the both organisations rather than him having to put up with someone new again.
Speaking for?
Just a comment, I guess, maybe before, but even as a delegate, Councillor Webster's still entitled, she can still go to
Still
every
go to the
meeting
meeting,
and, okay,
Just not a voting member.
it's not voting.
Okay, any further against? Nothing more to add, we'll put that to the vote. All those in favour of Councillor Farrant being the delegate? And against? 7-2.
Councillor
Rich and Councillor Webster. Okay, that's those ones done. 12.5.5, page 60, nomination of delegates for the Shire of Harvey and Shire of Dardanup Joint Town Planning Scheme Committee. As explained at the briefing last week, it's got a short lifespan left. Hopefully, yes, on one of those, Mr. CEO. Anyone else wish to nominate for that?
Yeah.
Councillor Hutchinson, Councillor Farrant. Couple of deputies,
Genoa?
Councillor Denore, Councillor Wrench. Filling all the gaps. Okay, councillors, discussion required on that, I'm happy to move that. Seconder, Councillor Trevathan. Any discussion required? Put that to the vote, all those in favour? It's unanimous. That's the committees done. Thanks, councillors. So once in every 2-year cycle. Page 63, the monthly statement of financial activity for the period ended on the 30th of September 2025. Recommendations on halfway down the page there. I'm happy to move the recommendation. Councillor Hutchinson seconding. Any discussion required? All those in favour? It's unanimous, thanks councillors. 12.5.7 on page 68, the schedule of paid accounts as at the 30th of September 2025. Councillor Davies moving, or question?
I've got a few questions on them. Sorry, there's one on page 77, EFT, PP 1001015, the BBC ITF remittance, 72,000. Do you mean to say all of them, or just wait?
We'll do them one at a time.
One at a time.
Melanie?
Yes, sorry, through the chair, the BCI remittance is due to the building licence issued, and then that fund, that is actually collected on behalf of the Building and Construction Industry Training Fund. So council collects those funds and then remits that off, so that's what that is, to do with building applications and development applications.
Thank you.
Mr. President, I think the reason why that's such a large one is because of the expansion to Eaton Fair that's recently been a building permit issued.
The other one I've got is 1034, so PP 1004.
Page, please, what?
Oh, sorry, 76. It's the ECC Transport Youth Leadership Conference, 385. Just want to know what that was about and
Just take that on notice, thank you.
as well.
That's all right.
Sorry, just through the chair, what page is that on?
76.
It'd be 001034, that one. Buses. I say it'd be bus hire.
I think I've got the right one. So this one's on number 96. PP 1001372.
What page, sorry, Luke?
96.
96.
It was return of WAPC Lot 4 Garvey Road subdivision work on 25789 66.
Through the chair, returns of bonds would generally be issued when a subdivision condition's been cleared, they've done the work appropriately. That expense may be.
Just one more. It's on 97. So PP 1001340. It's the annual rate notice, printing of brochures, 17,136.19. Probably about all the printing and all that. Can I ask a question? Is there any way we could save a little bit of money on that, like so it's not so high?
Through the chair, so that postage is for not only the rates but our general mail as well, but predominantly is made up of our rates. We do proactively encourage ratepayers to take up the option of e-rates, and that's advertised in media, socials, and also at our front reception. So we can definitely probably take a bit more of an effort across that in the future, and we do advocate for e-rates.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nat. Councillor Farron?
Sorry. Got a personal interest in
Can
software.
you use your
Oh, sorry about that.
Get used to it.
Yeah, I was just looking at the rates and an interest in the software, the Natalix, I think it was. And that was a quarterly of about 14K. Is that going to be offset by the ERP implementation, or is that the library system?
Through the chair, that's through the chair, it's a subscription for our server, so it's a Nutanix server options. If I could just ask Sean Hill, anything else to add on that EFT?
No, through the chair, ma'am, the Nutanix software, is that what we're referring to?
Yes, thank you.
That's actually a licensing arrangement for the core server infrastructure. It applies to all the applications we run internally here at the shop.
Just one observation, there's a number of usages here for like a skid steer / bobcat. I mean, is there an option for the Shire to actually purchase a bobcat?
Through the chair, councillor, we are busy investigating as one of my my KPIs. I'm doing a review of the the plant and the resources out at the operations depot. It was moved in April, I believe, that we won't be purchasing any more plant until the review is done, and that is one of the recommendations so far that we've identified, that having one in-house or potentially even two, we can offset a lot of that higher cost, definitely.
Contractors.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Andre. No more questions? Okay, councillors, the resolution's on page 68. Councillor Gillespie moving, Councillor Hutchinson seconding. We've heard our questions. Any debate required? Put to the vote. All those in favour? It's unanimous. Okay, we'll move on to committees. The Bushfire Advisory Committee minutes are there, page 104. 105. 106. These on block. Councillor Janor. Happy to move? Thank you. Councillor Janor moving.
Happy to move.
I'll happy to second that. Wish to speak, Tony?
No, I just confirmed that the agenda review that first address had been confirmed as correct.
Okay, no debate. Okay, councillors, put that to the vote. All those in favour? It's unanimous. That's the end of those bits. Item 13, elected member motions of which previous notice has been given. There are none. There is no new business of an urgent nature introduced by decision of the normal public question time. Before we go behind closed doors, I did just plan to do something I was supposed to do at the beginning. So I'm just going to say a few quick words. Councillor Lilly, I did mention, was in the gallery, and I just want to make some notes about her time on council. Councillor Lilly was elected to the Shire of Dardanup Council in October 2021 and has served a 4-year term finishing this month, with the last election. And the last 2 years of that, Ellen was the Deputy Shire President. We also had Jack Manoni retiring at the end of his term. Jack's not here tonight, couldn't make it. He did put an apology in, and he served a 2-year term finishing 2025. So thanks again, Ellen, for your time. You did the job well. You have threatened to come back, so we'll wait and see what happens. But yeah, look, your passion for Dardanup and local stuff out there is unequalled. So you've left a legacy, a good one. So, but yeah, good luck with your future endeavours and enjoy your time. And we'll see you around the community. So thanks very much. With that, we're going to possibly go behind closed doors, and you'll get kicked out. So yes, we have a resolution on page 107. Offer the recommendation to go behind closed doors. Councillors, Councillor Davies is moving. Councillor Webster seconding. All those in favour? It's unanimous. We go behind closed doors. We'll on page 13. Recommendation there that we return to behind closed doors. Councillor Hutchinson moving, Councillor Davies seconding. All those in favour? The other agenda. Next item is item 17, closure of the meeting, and the next meeting will be here on Wednesday the 19th of November, meeting at 5 p.m. Thank you everyone. Congratulations to new councillors on the first meeting. Thank you. Ordinary meeting.